Hello, I'm Philip Stoten. I'm at Productronica 2013, and I'm joined by Jason Spera from Aegis. Jason, good to see you again.
Thanks for having me, Phil.
I hear you're spending a lot more time over here at the moment.
I am.
That's good to hear.
Yeah.
A lot of the discussion this week has been about Industry 4.0, and I think there's a lot of stuff behind it. There's some big data issues, some smart factory issues, which we all know are important initiatives. But one of the areas that's coming through, for me as a driver for that, is mass customization. We've seen some great examples going on in the US. Is that something that you're seeing more of, and is it something that plays into your new product offering, Factory Logics?
Absolutely, it is a big challenge because the concept of having single permutation products that you have to build, and then putting the issue of how do you have a software solution across the entire environment to support that, the only way it's traditionally been able to be solved is heavy customization of the software solution. And that's not really viable for most companies. If you're a massive enterprise and you have the resources to invest in such a thing, you can do it. But now that need is moving down the tiers of manufacturers. So absolutely, we've engineered our solutions specifically around supporting that in a more commercial, off-the-shelf manner, rather than having armies of integrators and customization.
Okay, and it's not just the big facility. Even if you're a big company, you want this system push through your supply chain as well.
Certainly,
so it's not just about developing something for yourself. When I'm out at factories, I see a lot of little software systems that are developed that grab data from here, there, and everywhere and show it in their way. It seems a lot of people are doing their own thing. Is that because they haven't found the right solution yet?
Well, it was desperation based.
Okay.
Is when there was no actual commercial off-the-shelf solution, they have these business problems. They had to build their own things. But I think there's been a shift. There's an era where if you had the resources, you would proliferate these tools all over your plant. But now, everybody has seen the downsides of that. You know, the executives and the managers know, I know what I lived through in a prior life with these custom solutions. It tends to hit a wall beyond which you can't get. And now they want a commercial off the shelf with minimum customization, links to other business systems, connection over the cloud to other possibly suppliers. And so all of that is fine, but the kernel of the system, everybody wants that to be singular and more holistic across the plant.
Yeah, and does that mean, for that to succeed, does that require some degree of openness, some open protocol, so all the different machines can communicate?
Well, everybody loves talking about open protocols, and they are critical, but it's actually a deeper issue. The software technology needs to be architecturally correct. It needs to be built in a fundamentally open manner. It isn't just it isn't a matter of just putting this crust of standard interfaces on it. It actually it has to be built in a way where it uses service-oriented architecture, web services, and a completely functionally and data open architecture. And once you have that, everything else becomes significantly easier.
Okay, and is that why with Factory Logic you basically threw everything away and started with blank paper?
It was the only way to do it.
Did it from the ground up.
We used Microsoft's latest technology for everything from, if you do wish to deploy on the cloud, web service-based technology, very interesting technologies for secure communication, and the only way to do that is to scrap everything and start over.
Yeah, okay. And I look at my children, for example, their generation is used to having everything in a easy-to-use interface. My kids wouldn't know what to do with a manual if they saw one. They expect to be able to switch stuff on, use it, and also to be able to access it everywhere.
That's correct.
Is that visibility, we talk about visibility up and down the supply chain, but the visibility in the way I actually interface with the system, has that changed a lot with the new system?
Oh, it's amazing. I think the advent of smartphones and everything has changed the psychology and expectations of consumers and business, and is now there's no tolerance for latency. And there's no tolerance from being insulated from your data. And it did drive a lot of our decisions with Factory Logics. Analytics and data fulfillment is 90% of the solution. I always say that you could have the greatest data acquisition system in the world. If the customer can't get it out in the way they want, wherever, through whatever endpoint they want, they're not going to consider it valuable to them. And that's our entire mindset as a company is around data fulfillment. The back end that makes it possible in terms of how the data got there is important to us, but actually not to the customer.
Yeah, so it's the bit they see and the connectivity up and down the supply chain. And you're living here in Germany, so it's your home market now.
Yes, it is.
Your home trade show for the first time.
Yeah, I feel very comfortable here today.
Absolutely. How's it been, and how is the market here in Germany at the moment?
It's actually really remarkable. Germany is unique when it comes to factory information systems, at least in my experience, having done this for, 17 years in the US and in China. Germany has more individual MES suppliers than any other single market in the world.
Okay.
But so plants in Germany assume you need an electronic control system for your factory if you're going to be a proper manufacturer. So we're entering this market, but what I found is management, engineers, they have all had experience with such systems, so they now know what they don't want.
Yeah.
And that's a very interesting position for Aegis because they already know the heavy customization, the involvement of third-party integrators, all of that ends typically pretty badly.
Yeah.
Cost, timelines,
yeah.
And so we're going into an environment where we're saying we have a new paradigm and we can prove it, and it's really, it's been great.
Yeah, and you've got that in at various different sites. You've got some active users here.
Yeah, already system displacements from people using other style systems, so it's been great.
That's good. Yeah. Okay, and the show's been reasonably good this week. It was interesting. I thought it had a good day on Tuesday, which is normally a slower day.
Yes.
It peaked quite early, so I didn't know what it was going to be like towards the end of the week.
We, at the end of the day, everyone plugs their lead system in, and I think this is not limited to Aegis. I hear it from everybody we've been talking to. It's really been a really great show.
Yeah.
For us, it's actually been a record number of visitors in any given trade show.
Yeah.
So I think it's been good for everyone.
Yeah, it bodes well. And I had a kind of sense that even though we've been kind of in this flat spot for probably a couple of years.
4 years maybe.
Yeah, probably even longer. And it feels like people just want to push out, even if the economic signs aren't there. There's a latent demand for CapEx. We need to push on.
Improvement.
And people are prepared to do it.
Yeah.
So
I think people are fundamentally at some level optimistic, and sooner or later we get tired of the malaise.
Yeah, and if everybody's optimistic, then it works.
That's right.
Jason, great to see you. Thanks very much for your time.
Thank you very much, Phil.